This is Intro to Proofs, section 6.3. Right now we're doing preview activity 1. So in this preview activity, we have three functions, f, g, and h, defined on sets a, b, and c. And I'm going to write these functions. They're in your book, so you should be looking at your book right now. But I'm going to write them with arrow notation, because I always find that I understand the functions better that way. But you do whatever helps you understand the functions best. So in this case, f goes from a to b, 1 to a, 2 to b, 3 to c. So f, I'll use red. Okay, so that's f. And let's see. G goes from 1 to a, 2 to b, 3 to a. Okay. And h goes from 1 to s, 2 to t, and 3 to s. Okay. So now we're asked a couple questions. Determine the range of each of these functions. The range of f is the set ABC. The range of g is the set AB. The range of h is the set ST. Okay. Which of these functions satisfies, this is number 2 now. Which of these functions satisfy the following property for a function f? For all x and y in the domain of f, if x is not equal to y, then f of x is not equal to f of y. Okay. So for two things that are not equal, are sent to two things that are not equal. That's what it's saying. So let's look at the red function f. So anything that's not equal, like 1 and 2, are sent to things that are not equal. But look at g. I've got two things that are not equal, 1 and 3, but those both set to something that is equal, a. And also here for h, you've got two things that are not equal, 1 and 3, and they're both sent to something that's equal, s. So f satisfies number 2, and that's all. H and G do not. All right, let's look at number 3. All right, so answer number 2. Number 2 is only f. All right, so which of these functions satisfy the following property for a function f? For all x and y in the domain, if f of x equals f of y, then x equals y. If you're paying attention at home, you might notice that number 3 is the contrapositive of number 2. So they're exactly the same thing. So number 3 is the contrapositive. Okay, so for instance, you say, just look for anywhere where two arrows are pointing and ask, did it come from two different things? No, so that doesn't satisfy it, but there are no two different arrows pointing, so it's fine. Okay, number 4, which of these functions have the range equal to their codomain? So f and h both have range equal to codomain. Okay, which of these functions satisfy the following property for function f? For all y in the codomain, there exists an x in the domain such that f of x equals y. So that means what it's saying is that for all things in the codomain, so here, for instance, there's an arrow pointing to it. Well, that's true for f, not for g. And then here, looking at, does everything has an arrow pointing in it, so it's also true for h. So in fact, 4 and 5 are exactly the same thing. They're exactly the same statement. All right, that completes preview activity 1.